What's up, guys? It is January 10th at 5:30 on a Saturday. Not a day I film unless I have an event, and today's not an exception. I don't have an event, but I have a call coming in from a restaurant in Caldwell called the Indian Creek Steakhouse. And they have a lighting system inside that no one is able to run. And the gentleman who installed it, I actually bought a lot of their company last year. Of course, he's no longer in business. And so they called looking for help, and that gentleman doesn't do this stuff anymore. Understandably so. This is a hard business to be in and stay in. And he didn't want to do it, so he's out, and he can't help him. So he gave me a call, and I have time, so I am jumping out there to see what's going on. Customer complaint is none of the lights work. That's always the complaint. But the information that I have is that everything's running off of an iPad that runs Luminaire, and that's how they do their shows. I don't know anything about the setup. There's not a show file I can look at. I'm also not a lighting guy. I do lights. I own a production company, so I understand DMX. For a long time, I ran my own fixtures, a whole Martin rig, and I don't love it. I can do it, I just don't like it. So, I think it's probably going to be one of two things. Either we are seeing so I think it's going to be one of two things. Either we are seeing communication from the iPad, however that goes through some controller, like over Bluetooth or something like that. That's a guess. I don't know anything about Luminaire or iPad controlled lights, but I'm assuming it's going to be a communication issue between the iPad and some kind of receiver that goes to that system, or it's something like a license that has expired and they don't have credentials to use, or who knows. Anyway, that's what I think we're going to be dealing with. So I have a 30-minute drive out to this location, and then we'll go in and see what's happening. First, need a little something. Because right now I should be eating dinner, and I'm not. So I need a snack, and I need a drink. Alright, so I just got off the phone with the general manager for that restaurant that I'm going to, and he was able to open up the iPad. Sure enough, it's Luminaire 4, and there are values there, but plenty. So the program has some kind of preloaded thing on it, some kind of a scene. I'm pretty sure that my feeling of Bluetooth or Wi-Fi is accurate, and we're probably seeing loss of communication from this iPad to whatever needs to receive data to shove it to all these. All of these are SlimPar units. If I'm not mistaken, that's a Chauvet series. Could be DJ or Pro, I don't remember. But they also, in their fixture list, said USB, which I thought was interesting. I don't know of a Chauvet SlimPar fixture that had USB as a part of its name, so I don't know if that's going to be indicative of how information gets to these guys, but if it is, we'll find out. I've got a 30-minute drive. Look, we're 28 now, and 16 miles. So I'm gonna do these miles and then bring you into the restaurant. Well, I'm a fairly long ways away. The Indian Creek Steakhouse area in Caldwell is super popular. Of course, it's Saturday night, so lots of folks here. No parking. Caldwell is a very small town anyways. Nice. That police car was not there moments ago, but is now. Cool. So I'm like 8 blocks from where I need to be. So I'm gonna walk my happy butt over to Indian Creek. Kind of just guessing, honestly, where this thing is. Just gonna take me a good couple minutes. Pacific train. That's pretty cool. Nice to meet you. How are you?
Good, man.
So, show me what you got going on here.
So, like I said, normally I just do this and then push
that
it. That
fires the master out.
Yep. And but obviously we're not getting much response.
Yeah. I see a bunch of cabling going down here into this box.
Yeah, but there's not a whole lot of connectivity inside here.
What I'm looking for is where that DMX ends up. So that first light, in fact, I should have traced that first. The end on that side has only the one plug, so that's the end of the chain. And there's one here. I'm assuming that's it. And it runs up. Over on this side, comes down the wall. I think this line right here is going to be our DMX. I think that's it. That Intech box. ArtNet. Yep, that's lighting. So this is sitting on network.
Okay. So I wonder if it's connected to Bluetooth in here and bypassing the LAN connection.
Could be.
Or I can just shut up and let you, since you know what you're talking about.
So do you know if this router is Indian Creek guests?
I don't know.
So here's what I'm thinking, right? There's only one connection in here, and it's just going to lights. I think this needs to be on that.
Look at there, that was it.
So at some point, this iPad got disconnected from this, and it's called IC Lights, which makes sense. That's kind of a funny title.
Well, we need everything very simple around here.
Cool.
Well, I hope you made a bunch of money on the call.
I haven't talked to anybody about billing yet. I just came here. Well, that should be it.
Okay.
Yeah,
no,
pretty.
That helps me out.
So what we should do is put some tape on this that just says IC Lights.
Okay.
So people can make that connection. And if that ever happens again, we can make that easy. I've actually got a Sharpie on me.
Perfect. There you go.
when I first started 15 years ago, it was on one of these. That was one of my first consoles. It's not even a console, that's a dumb thing to call it. Alright, GHTS. Okay.
Perfect.
Well,
have a nice evening.
Thank you, sir.
Be the easiest call you've had all day.
No kidding. Happens all the time.
Well, it's much better than having to trace out your LAN cables back to the router so they go to the server.
Hey, I've been there, man.
Yeah.
I've had some ugly venues. Tell me what. Well, that was the simplest service call of the week. Didn't even do anything. What's up, guys? It's me again, and I am here at our good old ambulance. It's January in 2026, and I am getting started on this rig now. Christmas is over, shows are over, everything's sitting over there on the floor from those shows. Pretty much everything is sorted back, and it's time to get started on this. I've got a stupid deadline. It's not a deadline. I have a goal of getting done with this in the next couple weeks, at least for the dry fitment of everything that needs to live in here. A couple of guys are going to join us on this project and take this shell of an ambulance and turn it into, not this, turn it into a production truck. This is going to be a part of the YouTube series called What Gets to Be a Production Truck. And the current candidates are this ambulance and a bus. In fact, if this goes well, we're going to turn all of this into a mobile production truck that can handle 20 inputs and probably 12 outputs, something like that. And I think all of that is going to go well. And I'm basically starting right now. So over here is this hammer. And I'm going to punch a hole in that wall, because behind this is a box. Here's what it looks like. I don't remember what goes out here in this ambulance. I've seen pictures, but I don't remember. It doesn't matter. The width of this is perfect for fitting a rack case in here, which is exactly what we're going to do. We're gonna put rails in here to put all of our, battery backups, server stuff, most of production video things, and then the back side of this is gonna get cut into, and we are gonna put a nice glass door on this so that things that need to be seen or edited, if they need to be, will come from here. I think audio is gonna live there too. Some of this I'm figuring out as I go, because an ambulance is built to be an ambulance and not a production truck. But I feel pretty good about how much room is needed, where things need to go, what the plan is. So, high hopes. Think it's going to work out. I also think I just heard the heater shut off. Yeah, I did. Which means that the GFI in the building didn't like it. So I'm going to run different power in here because it's so cold. And that's helping me out. But I had the ambulance sitting on a feed from the building and it didn't like it. So I'm going to do that first, I guess. And then I'm going to go punch a hole in a wall with that sledgehammer you saw me have a couple of seconds ago. Let's get going. All right. So obviously, not only did it trip wherever power was coming from, but it turned on those lights as well, the emergency lights, which means that all of that side doesn't have any power either. So I tripped a breaker. That was nice. Which one did I trip? Ah, that one. Whatever NO stands for. See if they comes back. Let's see if it comes back. Yep. Oh, interesting. I had a lot sitting on there. The lamps are on there. The fireplace is on there. Stuff. Oh my goodness. Stuff all the way up there. The computer and the stream system is on that. Well, that would explain it. I don't need any of that stuff running right now, and I definitely don't need this heater going. That was just for the ambiance. Let's turn that off because that's probably sucking a lot of energy. I can probably get away with running the heater in the ambulance now. I think I'll also turn the battery charger off. Guess I didn't realize just how much I was pulling off of that. So I'm gonna put this back over here. I do have a breaker in here. It has a battery charger coming off of shore power. All right, what am I missing? Okay, power is restored. And let's go to the shop lights, and we're gonna go turn them off. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's way harder than I thought it was going to be. All right, let's see what kind of material we have here. I really thought this was wood. And I might be learning right now that this is the back of the metal box, which doesn't seem probable because the outside of this is wood. Oh, this is wood, but it's pretty thick OSB, which is interesting because this over here is not OSB. So that must be a different part. All right, so as you saw, behind this is that metal box that we're fitting the rack into. And there is quite a bit of like wiring that's over here. It's not neat or clean, it's just dangled up over here. But I need this thing to leave. You need to leave! I'm assuming that the way this is on here is that it's glued. So, I can see that the bottom of the floor, that's dumb to say. I can see that the floor is also wood, and it just has this fake rubbery diamond plate stuff that comes up on it, creates the edges of the floor where it comes up to the wall. So this is a pretty stout piece of OSB that's on this, but I should be able to take this off. All right, new tool time. So because I hate wasting time, we're gonna employ this. It's the wrong tool for the job, but I think it may allow me to maybe be able to pry up enough on this to pull it away from the wall. I'm really fortunate to own such good woodworking tools. as this 24-inch crescent wrench and this pipe wrench. Oh yeah. Right, and that there is a fair bit of glue that has been used to seal this board on. Not really hardware. This thing is taking some abuse. What's crazy is that it kind of goes back like there's not a whole lot wrong, so clearly that was the right material for this box. But it kind of seems like the backside of this has some hardware coming through it and it sticks into the wood. Yeah, I think there's one of them right there. Yeah, I think there's screws in here that are holding that in. So I'm gonna go get a drill and take those out real quick. All right, have drill will remove screws. All right, let's, boy, I can't see anything. Let's just start in here. Cool. Let's see what happens with this now. Still difficult. All right, as you will have no doubt have seen, I got this pried away and I did miss 3 screws at the top. They're out now, and this did break right where I wanted it to on this piece. It's unfortunately taking some of this coating with it, but I'll deal with that later. Right now, there's a couple of screws in this board that are keeping this together. But yeah, it's just a sheet of wood. It's not seen daylight since I pulled it off. This was basically just spaced with whatever scraps that these are. It looks like pieces of old trailer. Can't even lie to you. Also, the welding that was done here was done after all this was on. And boy, it was sure hot, let me tell you what. I got the wood nice and hot too. Somebody really was just holding something on there. It's kind of nuts. Anyway, I need to go bust through these. I need to go, looks like, actually I can see the locations of where the screws are that were holding this together. I basically am trying to get this off without ruining this ceiling, because that would be so sad to have to deal with that. So I am peeling all of this stuff off here that's on the side, and once I get all this removed, that'll work. Once I get all this stuff out of here and make it so I can do something with it. So once I get all of this like glue / paint out of here, I can find where these screws are that are holding this together, get those back a bit so I can get the drill in here. Yep, just like that. A couple of holes here where I can just zip those screws out, get this thing taken away, which opens up that corner for us to put our rack in. All right, somewhere up here, there's a hole. Kind of just hoping to get close enough. Nope, some of this is gonna have to be chipped out. can even find where it is. Ugh. Perfect. Okay, well, the tool I have doesn't seem to fit that. Would be my luck if it was something other than a Phillips head. Let's see. Well, I can't see anything. Oh my goodness, there's actually a ton of them. Okay, I think I know how we're gonna fix this because I am not gonna go find all the holes. I am gonna peel this stuff away, which I think is gonna make a decent amount of work for me later, if I had to guess. Ah. Cool. Okay. Now the upgrade that we're going to do for taking this stuff out is this guy. It's got a terrible disc on it, which is good enough for what I need it for. Do I have a quick available battery? I probably do right here. Good enough. That'll do. All right. Oh yeah, that'll go quick. Beautiful. Gross. Ugh. None of that is the right way to do this. But if it wasn't blatantly obvious, I'm not really too worried about it. Man, it's right at the perfect spot where that's going to be a butt. Cool. I definitely would have just beat into this a lot more, but I really didn't want to damage that roof, and I'm glad I was patient with it. Also, not OSB at all. I got tricked because of the coating that was on here. Definitely plywood. Pretty nice plywood too. All right, this is where the rack is gonna go, and that should fit really nice in there. The position is great, so how we do this next, I don't know, because this is gonna take some nice precision cutting to make it look awesome. So stay tuned. So this is where the rack is going to go. In fact, to give you a little bit better angle, it's just in this back corner here, and I'm not sure how it is that we're going to turn that into usable rack space yet. I don't know what the plan is for that, so I'll figure it out. It's gonna have to take some precision work though. Probably gonna burn up a lot of blades getting through here. We'll figure it out. We always do. All right, that one's done. I'm leaving this, so I gotta clean that up, clean this edge up. More than likely, this is just gonna get trim on the outside of it to cover the things I did to get rid of the thing that I got rid of. All right, so I just got through pulling part of the Motorola's, or the Motorola system in here. This unit is, of course, a 2000 and, oh shoot, what is it? 5, 6? Something like that, ambulance. And right for the time, this stuff was copyrighted 2006, which is probably its manufacturer year. This is an HPD 1000, and its job was to uplink and downlink through radio over like the 700 and 800 megahertz systems. Communication for like dispatch and law enforcement. So this basically went to a little box called an Astro 25, which I believe all of that crap mounted to that ball that's in there where the stuff is that I disconnected. All those wires that are hanging out of that box probably went to that. Some of it did. And that was used for critical information for first responders. And in this case, not law enforcement stuff, but EMS stuff. So I have taken that out of the back of this box, which was over here. Pretty cool holder. Doubt I can use it for anything else, but that would be cool. Some of this wire stuff I'm going to chase back, because that means there is an actual 12 volt supply on that, and I may need that. Especially if I'm going to put comms communication in here for the production side of things. So that's cool. The next thing I'm going to do is take out this roof unit, which is covering up a lot of space that I just found. And I want to see if there's anything that I can put up in the top of the ambulance to save on some room down here. Oh, okay, so I'm gonna start taking out all of these screws, getting this thing close, even remotely close to any screw spot is probably a miracle. A lot of screws are missing. I think they're even using this to kind of hoist that up. I might keep this. I don't know how to use it yet, but it looks like something that would be awesome for, again, comms communication. I could see that being of benefit. I could see myself wiring that up to a small amp or something and using it on a Discord server so I can hear calls from the TV station. All right, that's a really long screw in there. All right, I need to start, oh my goodness. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is just banded up. It's not Ugh. Oh, gross. It's not great. Like, some of this box is like really nice and some of it's fairly cheaply made. Okay. Nice. Here's the spots where the two pieces come together. Okay, there's for sure some wiring and stuff that sits up here. Some things that kind of look like they were never used. This is a nice spot, but there's not near enough the room that I thought would be up here. It's a pretty simply built box, though. The fact that ambulances are like 200 grand when you buy them, especially for a stage 3, that seems insane to me. Oh, nice. Here's the wiring. By the way, they just used SO cable to wire this whole thing, and that seems wrong. I mean, it does the job, but that seems crazy to me that that's what they used. After much digging around in this mess, I got that light working, and I have a mess all the way through here. So, time to clean everything up. So I got a fresh start. I'm gonna go home, get some rest, pick this up on a different